Hello everyone, it is Joey Tastic here, and today I'm coming here with a very different video. A video that doesn't have to do with all the other stuff I do on this channel. For the people that came on here because I made a video about leaving Neverland, welcome to the channel. I do a lot of gaming videos, a lot of Nintendo related videos, and a ton of other stuff that interests me. Before you comment or do anything, and that's for the people that actually believed the victims of the documentary. That's for the people who believed every word that they were saying. Please do not, and I repeat, please do not say, oh, I support a pedophile, I do all that, MJ's a pedophile, get the hell out of here, go kill yourself. That is completely prohibited. I'll block any comment that has to do with that. And what I want you to do, please watch this entirety of the video before actually making a comment on here if you actually believed the documentary. Because every word I'm about to say in this video is completely factual. I've done so much research, and if you want to know more, and if you completely just despised this video, I have a ton of sources down in the description. You'll see a ton of links on multiple videos that I've watched and people who are also against this documentary that is completely slanderous, completely fictional. It's very fictitious, and it's just bogus. It's unfactual, and you'll find more information about it in this video. Which it really saddens me because Michael's not here anymore and he's not here to defend himself, and you wait 10 years after he dies and you make a documentary about it. Like the child molestation shit. Like, it's sickening. It really is. So I'm gonna dig deep into the facts and stuff that a lot of people need to know. And I also want to talk about his music and music of Michael that a lot of people need to listen to in order to really understand who he actually was, instead of making a documentary to make him guilty. You know, completely one-sided, and it's just... And I watched some of it, and I know people who watched it, and they tell me, I don't believe a goddamn thing. I don't believe a goddamn thing. You know why? Because we actually did research. And you'll find more about all the stuff I'm about to say in this video. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Leaving Neverland rant.
Okay, so the Leaving Neverland documentary is a very controversial documentary. It's starring two men who allege that Michael Jackson sexually abused them as children. And here's something that I don't understand, as I previously stated in my intro. I don't get that people have to believe a documentary that is completely one-sided, and it just sickens me to see that people can't look at the other side and make their final decision. That's a big problem with this world. And another big problem with this world is how people just can't accept who Michael was. I mean, it's obvious. It is not proper behavior to sleep or hang out with kids. He made very odd moves in his life, and that was the reason why this started up with the allegations and everything. And this is why he was often judged, misunderstood, and very strange. He had a lot of mental issues, probably due to his really bad childhood and all the stuff that his father had done to him. And something that I don't understand is that even his music tells you how angry he was at the allegations. Songs like Scream, Tabloid Junkie, and Money, especially Money. Money is a Michael Jackson song a lot of people need to listen to, because that is what this documentary is about, a money grab. I mean, that's why this documentary was even made. What victim sues the MJ estate for millions and millions of dollars? That is what really just tells you just this guy is freaking lying. And the guy who's directing this documentary, his name is Dan Reed, and he has directed other documentaries having to do with pedophilia. One of them was called The Pedophile Hunter, and people are saying he's like a NAMBLA member. And what's crazy is that Wade Robson, he was the first witness of Michael's 2005 testimony, testifying under oath as an adult in freaking, how old was he? Like 21? And what's stupid is that people don't get why he, said that, said that, Michael did that to me. His career got screwed up because he couldn't get in the Cirque du Soleil show, and he had therapy. More information about that is in one of the videos in the description, but I will definitely talk more about that. And Wade Robson has changed his story multiple times, and there's even a court document that says that, we have 5 versions of this. I believe this is proof that he has changed his story multiple times, saying he has several versions. What do you mean by several versions? I think what he means here is the amount of times, like all the stuff he's written down about Michael Jackson abusing him. This is just wow. I mean, that's what a lot of people don't know. I want to go over some of these facts, and this, I give credit to Lisa. Her username on Instagram is Killer Thriller. If you guys can, give her some support. I'm gonna read this to you like you're in first grade, so because I'm kind of educating the brain dead people who just believe a one-side documentary that has no actual proof either. So the FBI investigated Michael for over a decade. His Neverland Ranch was raided, and there was never any child pornography found or anything that could lead him to being a child molester. Yes, that's something that a lot of people don't get. There was no child porn. I think what I'm hearing is the actual magazines he had were women. And it was even revealed, and I knew this for a very long time. Michael was very into women. He even, tells you about it in his songs. He loved freaking Diana Ross. He loved just, he really just... And what's stupid is that they call him a homosexual because he hung out with, well, especially boys. But there were girls there, but mostly boys. And I'm trying to really say this. He did not just have white kids there. He had a lot of other races there. He had black kids. He had Asian kids. I'll give you proof. There was a kid named Ray J. He hung out with Michael Jackson, and he has said nothing about him molesting him or anything. Like, so many kids have said, like, they were interviewed by police, and, they said Michael Jackson never did anything to them. Let's read the next thing. Michael Jackson built and designed his Neverland Ranch specifically to make it possible for sick children to run around and have fun, but at the same time being able to rest when they needed to rest. Example are 2 rooms in the theater cinema with transparent windows, which had hospital beds for the sick children to lay on them and still being able to watch films. Yes. And for Michael to do that is just, I know, it's just, people are blaming the parents, but Michael has said in interviews, like, as long as your parents think it's okay, then you could, spend time in Neverland with me. But, okay, let's read this next one. A maid who worked at Michael's Neverland Ranch was offered a big amount of money that worth way more than they earned and had to lie in the media about seeing Jackson showering with kids. Later on, the maid admitted in court that she had lied and that it wasn't true at all. Yes, everything the maid said is not true. And that's what I was saying before. People believe everything they read on the media. And that is in one of Michael Jackson's songs. He says, just because you read it in a magazine or see it on a TV screen, don't make it factual. That's a very true statement and something that a lot of people need to know. Tom Mesereau, his lawyer, says that Wade Robson was Michael's strongest witness and was an adamant supporter of Michael Jackson. Wade said it was even silly they even suggest that he was improperly touched by Jackson. This is Wade Robson's 2005 testimony. And he was asked questions, including, did Michael Jackson ever molest you at any time? And this was when he was a grown man. Absolutely not, he said. And it's weird. It's really weird. And him saying in the documentary that he lied and didn't know it was sexual abuse, which really makes it just absurd and ridiculous. 21 years old, like most adults around 20 would know what sexual abuse looks like, you know? And you don't speak up when he's alive. That's what I don't get. That's what I don't really get about this documentary. It's just wow. You have to do it, especially on the 10th year that he's deceased. All right, now we're gonna continue. I think there's like 8 more of these, and then I want to get to more information. Joy Robson and Wade Robson himself called Brandy Jackson, Wade's ex. Yes, Brandy and Wade have dated, and Brandy is coming now and saying Wade is not telling the truth. And there is 2 interviews about Brandy Jackson explaining why he's lying in the description. In 2009, after Michael Jackson died, so Brandy had a relationship with Wade for over 7 to 8 years. Yeah, and knew the Robsons very well, like a second family. Joy tried to convince Brandy that Michael didn't want Michael's kids to be their grandmother, which isn't true. She tried to tell Brandy that the kids should be with Robsons, and Brandy said that they were supposed to be with Catherine Jackson. I'm reminding you that Michael's children are the only ones who get their money off of Michael's estate, no one else from the family, which shows that the Robsons are trying to get Michael's children, most likely to get the money. Of course, because Michael Jackson is a money target. And what I really don't get is that, and I'll get to the other stuff later on, because I have something else to say, but it's later on in this. Wade Robson and James Safechuck were heard in court, and their cases were dismissed and thrown out of court, since it was already proven that Michael was innocent. And their allegations proved nothing about Michael's innocence. And yes, there was a 10-year investigation on Michael Jackson. 500 witnesses, 2 jurisdictions, 30 kids interviewed, a full trial with the jury, a full investigation of his home, the FBI, they scanned his naked body, all the body parts. No evidence. Nothing to prove that Michael Jackson did that. Here is a guy who watched the documentary. I think he watched it, and he thought he was guilty at first. But after doing many research, he doesn't believe the bullshit that these 2 victims are saying. Well, yeah, they're not actual victims. They're perjurers. They're lying perjurers. And this guy is a genius. I mean, he's done his research very well. And there's another guy in the name of Razorfist. His videos are in the description as well. He did a 3-part rebuttal series, and it's nothing but facts. I really support these type of people, and there should be more people like this in this world. Okay, so these are the agencies that they mentioned in the FBI files. And they searched all of this. Nothing to prove that MJ has did that. Nothing. At the same time, when everyone was watching Leaving Neverland at the Sundance Festival, there was a documentary going on about Harvey Weinstein, a real pedophile, befriended with Oprah Winfrey. Nobody focused on it since the attention was focused on Leaving Neverland. Still, there has been almost none to zero discussions on Harvey Weinstein, not to mention that this man had been raped of women at her earlier Sundance Festival. Something that I don't get is that you have Oprah Winfrey, who has interviewed Michael Jackson in 1993. And to be honest, I was never an Oprah fan. With a question she asked him about if Michael was a virgin, if a white actor played you in a movie, very unnecessary. And this woman is a snake, okay? You are friends with a real pedophile in the name of Harvey Weinstein. And you speak to the victims of Michael Jackson, but not the victims of Harvey Weinstein. You're a fraud. You are just wow, okay? And the reason you're speaking to MJ's victims is because you want money, okay? According to, I think the name was Ron Newt or something, that she was offered money to lie on Michael Jackson. She was offered money to do this interview, and yes, that's what people don't understand. It's money. And you're friends with Harvey freaking Weinstein, who has never been, I don't think has ever been interviewed by, that they don't interview the victims of that monster, okay? And what's crazy is that, we defend Michael because we love his music. It's not because of that. And for you to say that is just disgusting, because we've done research, we know the facts, and what I mean by we meaning people who actually know factual information, not fake, just malicious tabloids, okay? And the tabloids still come from Michael Jackson. They even lied on Paris. And Paris is just, especially with her dealing with a lot of problems, and the reason that they're lying on her is because she's freaking Michael Jackson's daughter. That's why. And they want freaking money from her. So, fuck all those people. They don't deserve to freaking be in this world. I'm sorry, but this is just not... I don't want to give death threats because it's not necessary at this moment. Let's continue. So, according to Wade Robson himself, Michael Jackson has abused him for 7 years. The Robson family made 14 visits to Neverland. Michael was only present at 4 of them. And what I don't really get, Wade Robson, right? So, according to the Joy Robson interview in 2011, 2 years before Wade Robson has said that Michael Jackson molested him. And yeah, not true at all. But Joy Robson, Wade Robson's mother, says that he actually moved to the U.S. when he was 9, not 7. He was 9. That's what people need to understand. That they believe a stupid documentary filled with malicious lies and it's just wow. And no racial. I feel like a lot of people. I really hope I'm not trying to be racist here, and I don't want to. Michael Jackson, that a lot of the people who believed this documentary are white people, and I'm not trying to be racist here. I'm not trying to be. It's just, it's probably because Michael Jackson was a big part of the black community, and that's why a lot of blacks praise him. Well, because he was a black man due to, his skimming lighter because of vitiligo and stuff. And what I really don't get, I'm a white person, but I've done my research, and it's also with Michael saying in his song, they don't care about us. Jew me, sue me, you can never do me, kick me, kike me, don't you black or white me. The reason he said that in that song is because the Jews often lied about him in the tabloids. Every accuser was white, not black or Asian or any other race. And yeah, that's what's just messed up, because Michael was right. If you listen to all those songs on history, he's telling the truth. Michael Jackson, with his words, with his anger, with his voice, he's telling the truth. I really hope I do not get hate from that comment. If I said it the wrong way, please let me know. Okay, let's continue. Wade Robson and James Safechuck has been changing their abuse stories many times. They have aired their documentary Leaving Neverland and still keep changing their story. They still keep on changing their story. People are currently still debunking this film, while 45 minutes have been cut out of the UK aired version of Leaving Neverland. They're still trying to cover up their lies and bring up excuses. The public is hearing more aware of this suspicious behavior. Many people are not believing their story, and that's good. And I feel like this documentary has received mixed reviews from people, very mixed. But I'm seeing a lot of people saying that they don't believe him, which is good, very good. And I apologize for the other comment I made. If it was offensive to you, please let me know. I don't want to offend any race. I love all races. I just wanted to really speak facts and just, because I don't want to hurt or harm or make fun of anyone in one way or another. So please don't harass me, please. And this is another thing that is covered in a video in the description. In 2007, Wade Robson and his wife, Amanda, made a video at Michael's Neverland Ranch. At the end of the video, they thanked Michael for allowing them for using his sacred land. It was published on May 15th, 2009. Yep, still defend the freaking man even when he's alive, and then when he's dead, even when he's dead, you know? Just weird about this man, you know? And more facts. Here we go. Wade Robson's ex-student, ex-co-workers, the Jackson family, and even his own mother in the court say that Wade is a liar. According to Brandy Jackson, Wade's ex has had a lot of confidence and doesn't think 5 minutes forward what he's planning to get something he wants. He's not afraid and is a born liar. And what's crazy is that, you know, he's a perv himself. I'll show you. Yeah, this picture. The way he's taking a picture with this girl over here. What's crazy is that certain mothers say that they didn't want their kids near him because he would touch the girl as if he was groping them. Yeah, very, very disgusting. Even people who worked with Wade Robson says that you must be ashamed of yourself, Wade. Yeah, I don't really know much about James Safechuck, but I do have something to say about his mock wedding story later on in the video. Alright, Gayle King, Oprah Winfrey, and others had been watching Leaving Neverland all at the same time together. Shortly after, Gayle King was the first one to be interviewing the Jackson family about it, and Oprah Winfrey came out with a special about Leaving Neverland with Wade Robson and Safechuck himself. Very suspicious, if you ask me. Oh, yes, definitely. After James Safechuck had seen that Wade Robson sued the MJ estate, the two of Michael Jackson's own companies, for hundreds of millions of dollars, Safechuck decided to do the same thing and get the same lawyer on Wade. Yep, that's when James Safechuck came in. When Wade first announced his story that Michael Jackson did that, you know, James wants money too. So yeah. Wade burned the Thriller jacket he said he had gotten from Michael. In reality, he never even had the jacket in the first place. Michael never gave it to him. And I think there was another thing that he actually sold whatever he got. And everything he's burning in the documentary is not real. It's fake. So that's something people need to understand as well. James Safechuck. Yep, this is another... here we go, debunking more lies. He claims that he honeymooned at Euro Disney. Fact is that Euro Disney hasn't even opened yet at the time. He claims that he did it in 1988 when Euro Disney wasn't actually opened until 1992. Wade always defended and supported Michael Jackson, even during the 2005 trial. Court transcripts prove that Wade continuously had been denying that Michael ever touched him, abused him, or sexually engaged with him. He still defended Michael when he passed away. He begged the Jackson family to ask for places for the memorial service. Receipts from Jackson himself are open to the public. Up around when Wade's career started to fail, and he had dismissed from the Michael Jackson estate to work for the Michael Jackson Cirque du Soleil show, MJ1. Wade started to make allegations against Michael and sued him for hundreds of millions of dollars. That's what I don't get about this. You know, a victim. Just wow. I mean, and what's stupid is that why would you dance to someone who abused you? And why would you go to someone's funeral or make interviews saying that he was a good friend to me? And I watched some of the documentary, and it sounded like he was reading from a script, like the body language of that guy and James and the moms are laughing like, what the hell? Michael has been acquitted of all charges, and to this day, nothing has been found that lead him to be a pedophile or a child serial rapist. Michael is innocent, and that will forever be a fact. A really big lie in this documentary is that James Safechuck's mother says in 2009 that she danced when MJ died because she knew he never hurt another child, even though her son didn't realize he was abused until 2013. And I believe it was a court document that Safechuck's mother was actually saying that she cried more than any other person who died, you know? So, yeah, this is a lie as well. And I don't know who made this photo, or I don't know. Let me know so I can give credit in the description or in the comments. Okay, Safechuck, in his lawsuit, claimed he was abused by MJ in New York in 1989 after he performed at the Grammys. But the Grammys were in Los Angeles that year, and MJ didn't perform in the Grammys in 1989. He performed in 88. That's something people need to know. Safechuck said in 1987 he spent Thanksgiving with MJ at his home. But MJ was in Australia doing the Bad Tour at that time. Another lie! And I'm pretty sure I did find out this. There are multiple videos in the description that do talk about this, especially the Razorfist video and the Jackson Passion video. The mock wedding claims, and I believe all the other claims made in this documentary, they all came from a fictional NAMBLA book called Michael Jackson Was Not My Lover. It's a diary of Jordan Chandler, written by Victor Gutierrez, who I think is a pedophile himself. So, I don't really know much about this, but I do know people who watched the documentary, including Mary, who is Jackson Passion. And she watched it, and she recognized all the stories made in the documentary because of this book and the amount of research that she has made. So, and I think this book is banned. I don't think you can buy it anywhere. I think you can, but I don't really know. There more information about that book are in several videos in the description. So, yeah. And another thing that people need to really understand and really believe, and just really, you know, people need to really understand this, is that prior to the allegations made by the teenager Jordan Chandler, the father was recorded secretly plotting against Michael. So, the Chandler allegations were false as well. And he's saying, there was no reason why he, Michael Jackson, had to stop calling me. I picked the nastiest son of a bitch I could find. All he wants to do is get this out of the public as fast as possible. As big as he can and humiliate as many people as he can. He's nasty, he's mean, he's smart, and he's hungry for publicity. Everything's going to a certain plan that it isn't just mine. Once I make that phone call, this guy is going to destroy everybody inside any devious, hasty, cruel way that he can do it. I've given him full authority to do it. In the same conversation, when asked how this would benefit his son, Chandler replied that it's irrelevant to him. So, I think there was more to that, but there is a video in the description that has Evan Chandler, the father of Jordan Chandler, saying that, oh, we're gonna destroy his career. He's not gonna expect this. So that whole Jordan Chandler thing, false. Jordan Chandler came out after Michael Jackson died and said, no, this is all for money. He didn't do that. Parents just wanted his money. So the Evan Chandler killed himself, and yeah. That's really all people need to know about that. An album that Michael Jackson, fans have pretty much listened to this album, but a lot of people who believe the allegations and people who are really interested in looking at the other side, they need to really listen to History. History is an album that it just really gets the listener to know more about Michael and his life and what he really suffered in, you know? I'll give you one of the greatest Michael Jackson songs ever made by him, in my humble opinion. Stranger in Moscow. Stranger in Moscow is by far the greatest Michael Jackson song ever made. It really talks about how he was misunderstood by the world, and it just tells you, he suffered a lot, and when he's saying, how does it feel? How does it feel to be in a world where people misunderstand me, believe all the allegations made towards me, and you feel cold inside. You feel bad, He felt bad that people misunderstood him for hanging out with children. I know, it's odd, but he had a reason to. Every time Michael Jackson was with a child, he would feel so happy. He would see the face of God. He even said in interviews he was never interested in sexual content. He just liked them as good friends. The kids saw them as good friends. Adults wanted his money. They would bash him. They treated him like the big star. as Michael Jackson, the king of pop. Kids, they just treated him like a good friend. They didn't accuse him of anything. They didn't hurt his feelings or make his life a living hell. Well, his life was a living hell with all the stuff made against Michael, but kids didn't do that to him. They were nice to him. They treated him like a good friend. Adults didn't do that. He only trusted multiple adults. He didn't want any help from people, which makes me really sad. And he didn't really trust any people. I mean, people who trust, like, adult friends that he trusted were like Elizabeth Taylor and Chris Tucker, and he had a lot of adult friends, but a lot of adults made lies against him, and that's why he thinks that adults are a problem in this world. Another song that people really need to listen to is "This Time Around," a song with Biggie Smalls, and for him to get Biggie in that song really makes it a diss track, and it's a diss to the media. Same thing with Scream, Tabloid Junkie, DS. That's about Dom Schneider. Someone who, I believe he also said that he drugged kids, which I don't believe at all. I think that was like around the Gavin Arvizo allegations in 2003. I don't really know much about the Gavin Arvizo allegations, but I don't believe any of that. So this is an album a lot of people need to listen to, and it really saddens me to see that this album doesn't get any attention. Good news don't sell, the bad news always sells. And the truth never is revealed, but one day it will. The truth will definitely prevail. And what really impresses me is that people are speaking up for Michael, including this person, as well as other people, including families. Heed, the person who made this video, I applaud you for doing your research and doing this video. And everything you said in that video is true. So thank you so much. And for all the other people who have spoken up about Michael and proving his innocence, I couldn't thank you enough for defending him and spreading his legacy.
And that's it for this video. If there's anything that I missed, please put it in the comments and write down everything I missed, and I will pin it so people can see it. I know I'm not a pedo defender, so if you want to start clout, talk shit, I'm getting you out of here. Okay, so don't start anything because it brings negativity, and I don't want that. Please give me your opinion in a mature, appropriate manner. I'm not buying any negative comments on here because the people who do that are just delusional, and the people who believe this documentary are very delusional people who just just believe everything they see on a whatever TV screen or magazine, radio. And I feel like people need to look at the other side, and that's why I made this video. And what's stupid is that people are banning his music, taking him out of like museums and stuff, and it's stupid. Michael Jackson was one of the greatest entertainers of all time. Still is. Still was. And his legacy is not going to die. Never. Never, ever, ever. And if people still continue to take away his music because of a documentary, it's just sickening. That's just bullcrap at its finest. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. The truth will prevail. As Michael said, lies run sprints, but the truth runs a whole marathon. We love you, Michael, and we love everyone on here. Everyone on here, I love you all so much. Another video will be coming soon. Peace out. MJ's innocent.